Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shenanigans show. So I did take last week off from posting because last week was my birthday week and I didn't want to worry about like recording or scheduling for that week and give myself a little bit of a break. However, I did kind of want to like talk about some of the birthday shenanigans that I did leading up to my birthday. The first thing I did was go to Joann's and I got some yarn for the 2 blanket projects that I'm working on, and I got some other stuff and I will show that in a little bit. I went to Joann's yesterday in relation to when I'm recording this, and today I baked a few things. I made some brownies. Picture of them uncut is showing up here. I will link the recipe down below in the description, but instead of using chocolate chips, I did like a mint chocolate chip, and I'm going to do a little taste test right now on camera. Like, I'm pretty sure these are going to be good because I've made this recipe before. Okay, so I do really like these. You can taste the chocolate, but the mint is pretty strong. It's not overwhelming, really, at least not for me. It's not overwhelming, but it is very strong. You can tell that the mint's there. You can still taste the chocolate, so I'm happy with it. It has the right consistency. The reason why I'm kind of analyzing this is because I was just watching the newest episode of Great British Bake Off, Autumn Week, and I was also watching Nailed It. And I also made pizza bread rolls. I call them pizza bread rolls because it's like a cheesy bread recipe, but I added like the pepperoni and kind of like pizza-y herb flavors. Those are cooling down, and then I'll do a taste test of those as well a little later. Tomorrow, some friends and I are gonna get together and we're gonna go to Barnes & Noble and ice cream. But since I said that I would show what I got at Joann's, let's do that real quick. So first off, I'm gonna show her. Let's cut this real quick because I don't think we need the tag. I'm gonna be careful not to cut the fabric. So I got this little gnome, Christmas gnome girl. I always call them Nissa though now because of Hilda. And there were really big ones at Joann's and I was so tempted to get one of the really big ones. And I was at the Porter Ranch, California Joann's. I also got some earrings. So first up, I'm going to show this set. I got a set of Christmas earrings just because I put all of my earrings away and I didn't want to bother trying to figure out which box they're in. But this one is a penguin. And these penguins were part of this set, and I got this so I could have like the stud earrings for my second piercing. And then I also have these danglies, and then I got these Nissa earrings. I really love the Nissa, really cute. There were 2 pairs that I liked, this one and another one, but I put the other one back. I am already in the Christmas spirit. I've been in the Christmas spirit since November 1st. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. I love Halloween, but I think I'm still trying to figure out like my personal Halloween vibe. And then the other pair of earrings that I got were these nutcrackers. I know a lot of people don't like nutcrackers, but I do. My mom does, and my mom really liked these ones, so she'll probably be wearing them on occasion. Ooh, these ones are kind of heavy. Not like in a bad way, but kind of heavy. Let me show you the yarn that I got. This is a Caron 1 pound yarn, and it's the color claret. So it's like a dark red. Let me show you in comparison to the other red. So this is the other red, and I also have this green, another Caron 1 pound, and this one was in succulent. And then there's this white, creamy, slightly off-white Caron 1 pound yarn. I'm using the Caron 1 pound yarn. I have 4 that I just showed you, the 2 reds, the white, and then the green, and I also have another brighter green, and I'm using that for a Christmas blanket that I'm making, and I'm doing granny squares. And the last yarn that I got was this Bernat blanket yarn. It is in color Spring Grass, and I got this as another kind of buffer color for the Caron cake yarn, the anniversary cake yarn in Evergreen, because I'm trying to get to a point for that one to make it like a really kind of wide and long blanket, but I didn't want to use the other 2 yarns that I had gotten until like last minute. Tomorrow I will be taking you with me to Barnes & Noble, so that will be really fun. I am in the middle of recording another video, but I am pausing for this video to try the pizza bread rolls. That first bite I took, it was good, but I was still tasting some of the brownie. Thankfully, it wasn't enough to affect the taste of this. This was really good. I really like this. I also do this in like loaf form, and this is probably the most popular thing I make for friends and family. Okay, so for what I got from Barnes & Noble, I'm gonna start off with this bookmark. Very cutesy, very durable. And then I didn't get this one at Barnes & Noble, but I did want to throw it in here as a recommendation. And plus two, I got it as part of my birthday present from one of my friends. And that is Natalie Wood, The Complete Biography by Suzanne Finstad. And this was previously published as Natasha. This one, I'm just throwing this in here again as a recommendation and just as something that I feel like more people need to be aware of, especially considering her life. And if you haven't watched Miracle on 34th Street, the only reason why I mentioned that one was because I was talking about it last night with my friends. But if you haven't watched any of Natalie Wood's movies, go ahead and look her up and start watching some of her movies. And for the books I specifically got at Barnes & Noble, there is one that my friend bought at Barnes & Noble for me, and that is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Leon. I had been looking at it for a while on Book of the Month, and then I saw it at Barnes & Noble. I'd set it aside initially, but what had caught me was the sprayed edges and then the inside cover. Like, how pretty is this? And then also the hardcover. Like, how pretty. And this book is a retelling of the legend of Jishi, who was one of the four beauties of ancient China. I realized I need to pull out the two other things I got at Barnes & Noble. But as for the three books that I got, because the other two things are not books. The first one is Phantasma. Again, this is another one that I was seeing in Book of the Month. As much as I love the Book of the Month books, I am very much a paperback person. So I saw this. This one, I was very much intrigued by the cover and the title, but essentially the little beginning part of the description says, Phantasma only has two rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. When Ophelia discovers her mother brutally murdered, there is no time to grieve. She has inherited the family's fearsome magic and enormous debt. Circumstances go from dire to deadly, however, when Ophelia's sister decides to pay off the loan by entering Phantasma, a competition where contestants rarely escape alive, and the victor is granted a single wish. I feel like that's all you need to know for this one. This one would have been perfect for Halloween. I still might read it in November. I might put it off till next year, September, October. Well, again, we'll see when I read this. Next up is Romanov by Nadine Brands, and this one I had seen a lot of. Again, another Anastasia retelling. The history books say I died. They don't know the half of it. Nastya Romanov was given a single mission: to smuggle an ancient spell into her suitcase on her way to exile in Siberia. It might be her family's only salvation, but the leader of the Bolshevik army is after them, and he's hunted Romanov before. Again, I feel like you don't need to know too much about this one. I might read this one in like December, January, because even though this does seem like a spooky read, one good for like Halloween, like September, October, November, again, it kind of fits anywhere between September to like January, February, you know? And then the last book I got was Spitting Gold by Carmela Laucus. And I had remembered I had gotten this as a Book of the Month audiobook, and I have been trying to listen to more audiobooks lately. I have been trying to get back into audiobooks, but I've been kind of having a hard time, so I figured if I got the physical book, it might help with the audiobook. Paris, 1866. When Baroness Sylvie Devereux receives a house call from Charlotte Moth, the sister she disowned, she fears her shady past as a spirit medium has caught up with her. But with her father ill and Charlotte unable to pay bills, Sylvie is persuaded into one last con. And then, as I said, I did get two other things that were not books. I got two vinyl records. I was more so looking for the artist rather than the specific records. One of them I had like checked a couple times because I wanted a record from him for a while, and the other I saw while I was looking for his. So the first one is The All-Time Best of Bing Crosby, and this is a single vinyl, and it's double-sided. Funnily enough, I'm wearing my Wallace and Davis white Christmas shirt. This was the one I found when I was looking for the other one, and honestly, like, I did a little happy squeal singing Bing Crosby's record, just because like a lot of records today are from like the really popular artists of today. There are some of like the late 1990s, early 2000s artists, nothing before that, so I was like really happy to find Bing Crosby. I'm very much a 1950s, 1960s artist person. The other record, the artist I was looking for, was Nat King Cole, and this one has two records in it, and I love the detail in this specific vinyl set. I love Nat King Cole. I've always loved Nat King Cole, but recently he has been a real kind of hyperfixation artist of mine and kind of comfort artist as well. So I'm really happy I found him. And it took like the second time I was looking through the records to find him because I was so determined to find something of his in the records. And again, it was just like, I want a record, you know, considering. That is it for this video, and that is what I got from Barnes & Noble and just all of my birthday shenanigans. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun with my friends and just kind of going out and doing things for my birthday or indirectly for my birthday. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.